Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. Barka de Sallah is still very much in order. Yesterday was the big Salah day, and I guess there's a surfeit of beef up and down the land. It doesn't matter what faith you belong to. You probably have friends of the other faith, and so there's been a lot of Salah rams all over the place. And but back to business, we have to get back to it. A number of things have happened that we started out on Monday on. We started out on Monday looking at the Anambra situation. We hope to be getting a bit more in-depth on that. First of all, we heard on Monday, a particular story talking about the upcoming governorship election. I think it's November 6th in Anambra State. The candidature, the ruling party there, APGA, seems to have two factions. In fact, it does have two factions. They held different primaries. The commission, INEC, actually monitored Soludo's primary election. Soludo has said since that they didn't even monitor the, electoral process of the other party. Yet INEC took Soludo's name out and put in the name of another person. That is another contender, Honorable Umeoji, I believe. Anyhow, today maybe we'll get to the bottom of it, because yesterday we had the Anambra State Commissioner for Information come in, and he was on fire. His language was a bit colorful, but the point he was making is that he couldn't understand the Independent National Electoral Commission. So we shall hopefully be getting to the bottom of that this morning with Mr. Festus Okoye, INEC National Commissioner in charge of information and voters education. He's a scheduled guest this morning, as we also have Mr. Francis Akinloton, who is a lawyer and a member of the Board of Trustees of Youth Party. Good morning, Francis, and thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure indeed. Your party has been on INEC's register.
Yes.
But INEC seems to be in the process of trying to, do they try in INEC or they just do? INEC seems to be in the process of delisting you.
Yes, they did.
They actually have delisted you.
The issue is they attempted to delist us, as it were, if I am able to narrate the full story.
Well, you will get a chance to. But as of this moment, what's the status? Are you on INEC's list as a political party or not?
The courts have said that we are a registered political party in Nigeria.
Okay.
INEC has refused to put us on their list.
Okay.
So INEC has decided to sit on appeal on decisions of the court.
Okay. But that is appeal judgments on the matter.
Yes.
INEC, you allege, has been sitting on it.
Yes.
And not executing those judgments.
Yes.
And if I'm right, we were speaking before coming on air, the main plank of INEC's rejection, or shall I say use the word delisting of your party, is that its name is restrictive. The name Youth Party of Nigeria.
That was the story. So in 2016, late 2016, late 2017, we applied to register. They said the name is restrictive. We went to court. We got a judgment in our favor sometime in October 2017. And then we proceeded, something that should take 30 days. It took us another 1 year. From October 2017 up until August 14, 2018, that was when INEC registered us. That was 5 days or a few days before commencement of electionary process. INEC had released the timetable for the election. Political parties have released the timetable of their primaries. So we had serious candidates who were with us who decided to go and explore their opportunities in other parties. Because the chances were slim.
We hopefully shall be able to address some of those issues, if not all of them, because today we have Mr. Festus Okoye with us. Good morning, Mr. Okoye. Hello, good morning, Mr. Okoye.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Okay, now, yes. I was expecting to see you as well, but I can only hear you. I suppose maybe they're working that out. But now all is complete. We have the full shebang. We can see you now as well as hear you. Good morning, Mr. Festus Okoye, INEC National Commissioner in charge of information and voters education. Well, first of all, happy Salah to you. Let's start like that. Happy Salah to you.
Thank you so much. And
I thought we'd start a bit soft. Now, we really need your help to understand the Commission's reasoning in two cases. You must have a plethora of cases before you, but two of them we've selected this morning. And I'm starting out, if I can, in Anambra. I'd really like for you to help us understand the Commission's reasoning in the turbulence that seems to have been going on in the case of APGA's candidate for the governorship election November 6th. First of all, you removed the candidate of Soludo, the candidate Soludo. You delisted him after you had what is the word now? Monitored his primary election, and then you put in the name of a person whose election, unless you advise me now, I don't believe you monitored. And now, that was a few days ago. Now we're back to, okay, candidate Soludo is back on the list. Help us understand how the Commission is reasoning, please.
Well, I think that you need to understand the trajectory of this whole thing.
Okay.
First, the Commission did not remove the name of any candidate that has been validly nominated by any of the political parties. That is not the modus operandi of the Commission. Now, let me put the issue in perspective. The Section 87 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended gives the National Executive Committee of the various political parties the right to organize party primaries. Now, Section 85 of the same Electoral Act makes it mandatory that any political party that intends to organize party primaries must give the Commission 21 days notice of its intention to organize the party primaries. Based on that, the Commission normally sends monitors to go and monitor the party primaries organized by the National Executive Committee of the various political parties. Now, at the end of the party primaries, we issue our report relating to what we observed or what we did not observe, or what we heard and what we did not hear. Now, also based on the Commission's processes, we normally give access code to our party nomination portal to the national chairman of the various political parties that conducted valid party primaries to upload the list and personal particulars of their nominated candidate to our central portal. And thereafter, we also use our own processes and procedures to publish the name of the nominated candidate and the personal particulars of the nominated candidate in the various constituencies where the people intend to contest election. So this is where we are. Now, before we did that, we received two judgments. A judgment from a Jigawa High Court sitting in Benin Kudu, and another court order from FCT High Court sitting in Kubwa. The judgment from Benin Kebbi was to the effect that the party has a new national chairman or an acting national chairman, and that the Commission must begin to recognize and deal with that particular acting national chairman, and that we must go and monitor the party primaries organized by that acting national chairman. The second order said, collect the list submitted by this faction, if you wish, that has an acting national chairman. So what the Commission did was just to strictly comply with the judgment of the Jigawa High Court sitting in Benin Kudu, and also with the court order of the FCT High Court sitting in Kubwa, to the effect that we should publish the name and personal particulars of the candidate that has an acting national chairman. And that's exactly what we did. So we strictly conform with court order. And this is because Section 287 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the fundamental law of the land, mandates the commission to give effect to decisions of the various high courts, the federal high courts, and all courts recognized by the Constitution. So we do not have a choice other than to comply with and obey the judgments and orders of the various courts.
And so now INEC seems to not recognize Honorable Chukwuma Umeoji anymore as the APGA candidate, and is going back to the earlier candidate that it had removed, Professor Charles Soludo. Is that the situation now? Are we now back in INEC's books to Soludo for APGA in Anambra?
Well, as every other Nigerian, I read about some decisions that were delivered on Monday. And as you know, Tuesday and Wednesday are public holiday. And the commission is not working on Tuesday and Wednesday. So by tomorrow, which is Thursday, if there are court orders that have been served on the commission, especially on Monday, I will be aware of those court orders. Now, we are going to subject all those court orders to our normal and usual processes and procedures. The court orders will go to the office of the chairman, and from the office of the chairman, it will go to the department in charge of litigation and prosecution. They will look at the judgments, make a determination of what those judgments are all about, or those orders are all about, make a determination of what the court expects us to do, and then put them side by side with the various court orders we have received. And then they will advise the commission, committee in charge of litigation on what to do. The committee in charge of litigation will look at all the court orders that have been received and then send a memo to the commission and advise the commission. But ultimately, it is the responsibility of the commission to take a decision in relation to what to do in the circumstance. So until the commission meets, I'm not in a position to state emphatically what the commission will decide.
I'm going to take that to mean that because of what you've explained and pending that advice and decision by the commission, Honorable Chukwuma Umeoji still remains on INEC's books as the candidate for the November 6th election in Anambra.
The truth of the matter is that when that was the candidate whose personal particulars the courts asked us to publish, and we have published. Now, the situation is that, as far as I read from the newspapers, that there are other court orders that said, oh, remove his name and put the name of another candidate. So if we have been served with those court orders, by tomorrow I will know. And then the commission will be advised appropriately on the state of things. And then we will take our decision. Okay. We don't have any interest in any of the political parties or in any of the candidates. Our interest is to make sure that we follow our processes and procedures and also obey the judgments of properly constituted courts of law.
Okay. Now, Festus, whereas I understand that, Professor Soludo has commented and said simply INEC was wrong.
Well, for us, is not the issue of the conduct of party primaries and the issue of who the candidate of the party is strictly within the domestic realm of the various political parties. And this is exactly why the commission released the timetable and schedule of activities for the conduct of the November 6th Anambra governorship elections in January. We released this in January to enable the various political parties conduct valid and transparent party primaries and also use their own internal mechanisms and internal processes to resolve their disputes. But what we have now is a situation where for an election that is taking place in Anambra State, the commission is receiving court orders from almost every geopolitical zone when the course of action is in Anambra. So I think that rather than the political parties pushing their failings and pushing their challenges and problems to the commission, they should go and resolve their problems. If you recall, just on Monday, there are various court orders that are flying up and down, and the commission is really worried that some of our colleagues in the legal profession are trying to misuse the the avenue of the courts in order to force on the commission a confusing situation. And I believe that it is not right. The various political parties should go and sit down, resolve their internal problems, internal issues, using their own internal mechanisms, so that there will be some level of clarity to enable the commission to plan properly to conduct a free, fair, and transparent election in November. Okay.
Well, thank you. And since you say that there will be need to study the court orders, all of them, and then extract from all of that advice that will then be considered, all of which will probably start once work resumes, and then we will know for sure what the situation is in relation to the November 6th Anambra governorship election. Is that a fair summary?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. Now, thank you very much. The other thing is that I wanted you also, since we have you with us, I wanted you to also comment on this, something of the brouhaha over the youth party. Is that a party name familiar to you?
The youth party?
Yes, the youth party that INEC, I understand, tried to delist.
Well, as far as I know, as of today, we have a total of 18 registered political parties in Nigeria. Prior to that particular period, we had a total of 92 political parties, and the commission, relying on Section 225A of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, deregistered the remaining parties. Some of them are in court. There are 2 or 3 cases pending in the Supreme Court. And as far as the commission is concerned, the Supreme Court is the fundamental, is the last court of the land. And whatever decision the Supreme Court arrives at, and whatever judgment they deliver, the commission will definitely comply. We don't have any personal interest.
Okay.
In any of the
it's interesting when you say that you don't have any particular interest in any party, because that is indeed what we would expect of an independent commission. But there was talk about your having objected, the commission having objected on the grounds of the name of the party, the Youth Party of Nigeria. And actually, I have a member of the Board of Trustees of Youth Party who has been telling us of the woes that his organization as a party has been going through as a result of INEC's, not making up their mind, so to speak, on the whole matter, and confusing the whole internals of it. I don't know. I can see that you're checking 1 or 2 things, so I appreciate that.
Yes. What is really the issue with the youth party? What is the complaint?
Okay. The complaint is, and I have here, let me introduce to you Francis Akinloton. He's a lawyer and a member of the Board of Trustees of Youth Party. Very brief, in the form of a question, please. As he said, what exactly is the issue with Youth Party?
It's just for INEC to obey the judgment of court as regards the existence of Youth Party. Twice the court have said that the deregistration of Youth Party by INEC is illegal, null and void and unconstitutional. And INEC has refused to obey. It's a declaratory judgment. They said that you did the wrong thing and you have refused to obey. Rather, you've been appealing upon appeal and you have failed. We had a matter at the Federal High Court where we challenged the attempted deregistration of Youth Party, and INEC responded and filed his defense. Now, whilst the matter was pending at the Federal High Court and parties have joined issues, INEC disregarded the court and proceeded to deregister the Youth Party.
Okay, and so as of now, by INEC, you stand deregistered.
Yes, but by judgment of court, that deregistration is null.
Okay, would you like to comment, Festus?
Well, I'm a very very senior lawyer, and the moment a matter, the courts are seized of a particular matter, any other further comment in relation to that matter is a sub judice. I'm sure and I'm aware that the issue relating to the registration of some of these political parties are pending in various courts of law. And since these matters are pending in various courts of law, and there has not been any determination relating to the appeals, I'm very, very cautious in making comments relating to what is before a court of law. So I think that my friend there should exercise patience. The Supreme Court is the last bus stop. The moment they give their judgment, there is the only place you can appeal to is to appeal to God. So let us exercise patience. Let the Supreme Court make their final determination, and then there will be a closure in relation to this particular matter. So I'm not really ready to go further than that.
Okay, one moment, please. Therefore, it seems to me, I understand you. As you said, it's about the law and the regulations and that. But I'm sure the Commission must also be very conscious and sensitive to the effect it can have on mobilization, organization, and what have you that parties are normally up to. And one's thinking is that the committee, the Commission will not lightly, will not lightly interfere with, the life of a political party. But as you put it now, the Supreme Court is the ultimate, and INEC seems to have the means to be going from step to step to step, whereas the people are querying the very basis upon which INEC started the action, such as, for example, saying a name like Youth Party is restrictive. They feel that was unfair. They say they have court judgments. I understand perfectly. As a lawyer, you said you are very wary of commenting on what's already in the process. But do you see the obligation that I think the Commission also has to all of these political parties?
Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission is a constitutional body, and its powers are derived basically and fundamentally from the Constitution. If you look at the constitutional provision, it is the Independent National Electoral Commission that have the exclusive right to register political parties in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution and also in accordance with the laws made by the National Assembly. Then if you also look at the provisions of the Constitution relating to the registration of political parties, Section 222 of the Constitution, subsection C, B rather, says that no association by whatever name called shall function as a political party unless B, the membership of the association is open to every citizen of Nigeria, irrespective of his place of origin, circumstances of birth, sex, religion, or ethnic grouping. So the implication is that the framers of our Constitution do not want any political party with restrictive mandate and with restrictive membership. And the Youth Party, by its very name, ab initio, is restrictive. But I really do not want to go into that, since that issue has been submitted to the jurisdiction of the courts. Let the courts make their determination relating to the powers of the Commission and whether we are right or whether we are wrong.
Okay. Stay with me for a while, please, because a viewer has called in, and I'm going to come back to studio because I know you probably want to comment on that.
Obviously.
But meanwhile, I've got to take the viewer that has called in from Abuja. Sunday in Abuja. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Okay. I want to ask question on the two-court judgment on the APGA case.
Okay.
The court judgment from Jigawa that gives the chairmanship to the a faction of APGA.
Yeah.
And there's another judgment from OCA.
Yeah.
So what would INEC do? My question goes to
I think I'm sorry to interrupt you, but in the interest of saving time, you must have joined us late because Mr. Festus Okoye, the INEC National Commissioner in charge of information and voters education, has spent time on that. He has spent a large chunk of time on this very question. But cutting to the chase, when we resume work, or when the nation resumes work on Monday, advice will be, made, and a decision will be taken on that matter. Really, I just wanted to save time, but thank you very much for calling in. Now, you understand Mr. Okoye's reluctance to, engage in the issues that are already in the process, but it does seem like ab initio, a party with a name like Youth Party would restrict me, for instance, because I'm 70.
No, it won't.
So, but that has to be explained, because going by the name alone, I'll say, oh dear, I'm not a youth anymore, so I can't join that party.
So the agenda is that the agenda first is to expand the democratic space, which INEC is trying to restrict, as you can see. The second one is generational change in political leadership. So the idea is that the founders of this party are youth. I'm not going to leave the party because we have become 45 or 50. I'm going to be part of the party. And in fact, we submitted our constitution to INEC, which says that membership of the party is open to all Nigerians above the age of 18.
Okay.
And then this section 222 that the commissioner has referred to defines restriction, which is gender, circumstance of birth, ethnicity, religion, and geography. It doesn't say that the name Youth Party becomes restrictive. In fact, the name is not.
Okay.
We have members of the party.
I hear you.
We have members of the party that are above 70 as we speak today. So the name is not restrictive. And we even got judgment against INEC. And it took INEC almost a year to comply with that judgment, even without appealing the judgment.
And that's why you allege that INEC is actually trying to restrict
the democratic and that is what they are doing.
Well, that's your take on the matter.
You would wonder why INEC will go on appeal on an independent body, for that matter, will go on appeal on the judgment of court that says that, number one, you could not have deregistered the party while you are both in court. Number two is that you appealed that judgment. For what reason? Just because you don't want us to participate.
Yes.
Number three is that elections have taken place after each of these judgments. And we have written to INEC to allow us to participate. They refused.
You tried to participate in the Lagos State local council election.
Yes, we're in court on that already. In Ondo State, in Ekiti State, the by-elections in Bayelsa State, Zamfara State, in Lagos State, INEC refused to allow us to participate, despite judgment of court.
Okay.
More than that.
But, you're a lawyer yourself.
Yes.
And the INEC commissioner is a lawyer, a very senior lawyer.
There's another issue I want to raise. INEC has conducted
It's good that you are airing the matter,
yes,
but you can understand that unless he changes his mind, which I doubt, Mr. Okoye is not going to really comment.
If he chooses not to comment, there's another issue that INEC even refused to collect letters from us.
Your party.
Well, that is most unjust.
That is not part
so when we are saying you are restricting the democratic space,
let me ask him about that.
We have proofs.
Let me ask him about that.
We have proofs and we can put them in the public sphere. INEC sent back letters saying that they don't accept correspondence from unregistered political parties. Where is that done? How is that done in a civil society? It's the most civil way to treat us.
Okay. Mr. Festus Okoye, did you want to add something to that?
No, there's nothing I really want to add, other than just to read the provision of Section 222 to my brother once again.
Your learned brother?
Yes, my learned brother.
Learned junior.
My learned friend.
He said he's your learned junior.
He says once again that no association, by whatever name called, shall function as a political party unless the membership of the association is open to every citizen of Nigeria. The mere fact that you have tagged your party as a youth party makes it ab initio restrictive. You don't even need to go far. But as I say, I think we should leave that. If at the end of the day, the Supreme Court says that the name the youth party is not restrictive, it qualifies to be registered, and it should exist as a political party, definitely we will definitely comply, and I can assure you.
Okay, thank you. Gabriel has called in. I beg your pardon. Gabriel has called in from Lagos. Good morning, Gabriel.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead quickly, please.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. Why is it that if anything comes up about youth in this country, we like to not talking about it. We will not talk about it. I will not talk about it. At the end of the day, we want to sweep it under the carpet. Why? Is it that the youth are not qualified for anything in this country, or
Thank you very much for calling in, Gabriel. We got your drift. Why are they picking on the youth? Why is the system picking up on the youth? Picking on the youth seems to be. But you wanted to say something?
Yes, but Mr. Okoye said he was not going to respond to the large chunk of the issue. But the other side of the issue is, why is INEC resisting to collect or refusing to collect letters?
That's what I wanted to ask.
Letters.
That's what communication, Mr. Okoye. Can you help us understand why INEC would reject
letters,
some communication from interested parties?
Honestly, I don't know anything about this. You see, I'm a national commissioner with the commission. And some people even deliver their letters at the gate of the commission, and those letters are collected at the gate with security officers at the gate with gate men, and the letters are collected. Sometimes when the commission is in session, letters are delivered to the office of the chairman, and the secretary to the honorable chairman, or wherever the letter is addressed to, collects this letter. So this one is very
so this is news. This is news to you. I can understand. One moment, please. I beg your pardon, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's moving so fast, and Joseph in Abuja wants to say something. Good morning, Joseph.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in, sir. Go ahead, please.
Please, why is it that anything concerning youth is being destroyed?
Okay.
They tell us youth are the future of tomorrow. Why?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling in, Joseph in Abuja. I don't know. We're speaking. I don't know that the INEC commissioner in charge of information and voters education, I don't know if he's going to go into those issues, those kind of issues.
I can go into it.
Please go ahead, sir. Excellent.
Yes, I really look at the online voters registration we are presently doing. The quantum of registrants as of today, the bulk of them are used between the age of 18 and 35, over 60%. The age bar for contesting elections in Nigeria has completely been lowered. The commission even has a youth policy. This commission is a youth and gender-friendly commission. So if there are impediments to place in the way of the youth in terms of political participation, it is completely outside the purview of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Okay. But in this particular commission, we encourage the youth in every facet.
So let me ask the member of the Board of Trustees of Youth Party to react to that comment.
I think whatever it is that INEC has as a policy may be on paper, but the action of INEC speaks contrary to what the commissioner has just said. Just like he said this morning, INEC refused to register a party because of the name youth, despite the fact that membership is open to all Nigerians without discrimination. We got judgment against INEC in this matter. Till today, INEC has not appealed that judgment. And that was why INEC registered us until a year later. Something should not take more than 3 months. Or even 30 days as it is in the law. INEC did not obey that judgment until a year later, from 2017 up until 2018 August. And now, the commissioner has come on here today to say that they obey all court judgments. And that is what they've done in the case of APGA.
In Anambra.
In Anambra, where they got a judgment from Kubwa and that one from Benin Kududu in Jigawa. But in our own case, we got a judgment of the Federal High Court. INEC appealed. What is INEC's interest?
So what is it? Just like the last two callers have asked, what is it with the youth?
When they went on appeal, and they have said it, that the name is restrictive. So every other way to shut us out is just what you call under passage, like Fela would say. Then we got a judgment of the Court of Appeal, a unanimous decision of the Court of Appeal, that says that your action against the youth party is illegal. And INEC has refused to obey, rather they went on appeal. So you now wonder, if you have a youth policy, why are you against the youth party? The youth policy is on paper, as it is obvious the way you are executing it against the youth party. Okay. That is our position. Okay. INEC should allow us breathe, for God's sake. They hate us.
Okay. Thank you very much, because really it's a practical example. Actually, you are going to be a commentator on our program, but since you also happen to be a member of the Board of Trustees of Youth Party that has an issue, here we are killing two birds with one stone with Mr. Festus Okoye's indulgence in the matter to help us understand how things work in INEC. We started with him starting helping us try and understand what's going on in the internal processes of the Commission regarding its approval of the candidate in Anambra for the governorship election coming up on the 6th. It seems that INEC has it in for his party. His party has been frustrated by INEC from operating effectively. As he's told us, they have judgments against INEC, but the point is INEC keeps appealing. INEC haven't stated initially that the name was restrictive, and Mr. Okoye had read out a part of the law that says that a party cannot be restrictive. Nevertheless, these things must have been looked into in the court system, and the courts have indeed given you a favorable judgment that INEC must register you. So the court wouldn't have gone against the law. So in the understanding of the court, you were not restrictive. But that is INEC's assertion. And
they are sitting on appeal on the decision of the court.
As you say. And Mr. Okoye has explained that INEC, far from being against the youth, is actually pro-youths, and has said that up to 60% of parties, registrants
registration
are the youth between 18 and 35.
Because the system is electronically friendly, such that you can use your device to register and then complete the data capturing, which speaks to another thing, and complete your data capturing somewhere later physically.
Okay, so now, you think it's the youth that really understand all of that caper, and that's why there's more of the youth registering than everybody else.
From recent happenings, if you look at the NBA elections that took place, I think last year, what happened was that the election was done online, and most of the people that voted in that elections are youth. So because of the system of this registration, it has favored more youth who can sit in the comfort of your room or office and register online, then complete the data capturing later. So in terms of youth-friendly, will be confirmed at the point of data capturing. And you would wonder, the current register of voters that we have in Nigeria is the one they did in 2018. And that is what they've been using in all the local government elections, the by-elections, and the local government elections that are meant to take place in Lagos at this weekend. 2018, which means a large number of Nigerian population who became 18 after 2018 cannot participate in any election or could not have participated. So where is the youth friendliness?
Okay, so as far as your party and INEC, it's a matter of a luta continua.
Well, you see, the law is very clear on what we want to achieve. It is INEC that has refused to obey the law.
Okay, I have Richard on the phone from Port Harcourt. Good morning, Richard in Port Harcourt. Would you like to ask the INEC Commissioner a question, be it on the Anambra election or indeed on the matter of deregistering youth party?
Okay, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to your guests.
Thank you.
Hello, Francis. My friend Francis is my childhood friend, actually, all the way from Lagos. So my own comment is actually on the registration of the youth party.
Okay.
Now, we have the not too young to run bill. So it's like the entire system of Nigeria as it is skewed or designed to frustrate the youth. So it's like the devil's gift. You give them the not too young to run bill act on one hand, and then you restrict them on the other hand from INEC. And it's really surprising, saying just because of the name. We have the YPP, the Young Progressive Party. So tell me, and they participated participated in various elections, and some of them are even members of the National Assembly and are holding different positions right now. Are you going to say that is restrictive? Why did you say that one is restrictive, the name? Because when you have Young Progressive Party, of course, by the definition, by the name young, if you check the definition of the meaning of the word young, What does it mean? It's not for, it tells you it's for young people. And of course, young people are categorized within a certain age bracket.
Okay.
So, if INEC wants to go this way, I think it is discriminatory against the young people and against the youth.
Okay.
So,
all right. Let me ask Mr. Okoye about it. I want to thank you very much for calling in, Richard. Thank you very much for calling in, Richard. Let me ask Mr. Okoye about it. If it is said Youth Party was restrictive as a name, how come the commission didn't see Young Progressive Party as also a restrictive name?
Well, I'm really not in a position to answer that unless I look into the Commission's documents. Because you see, the registration of political parties is governed by the provisions of the Constitution and also governed by the provisions of the Electoral Act. But I really believe that what is fundamental is that, one, the Commission was not there when the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was framed. And the Commission was also not there when the Electoral Act was passed, regulating the procedure for the registration of political parties. Now, it should be very clear that the framers of our Constitution were very, very clear on what they want. They want political parties that represent all interests. They don't want political parties that discriminate against anybody on the basis of gender, on the basis of ethnic origin, on the basis of religion, even on the basis of age. They also do not want any political party that has a logo that reflects an ethnic connotation or a religious connotation or a connotation that will give the impression that the activities of that particular political party is restricted to only a part of the country. Now, let me just say this, that the membership of a political party or the registration of a political party or having a political party is not the only means of mobilization in this country. You can mobilize the youth. You can get the youth to participate in all aspects of governance without necessarily being a political party. That is your fundamental right, and that is given by virtue of the fact that you are a Nigerian citizen. So the moment you accept, the moment you want to cross to that threshold of becoming a political party, you must now conform to the provisions of section 221 to 229 of the Constitution, and also conform to the procedures for the registration of political parties as enunciated in the Electoral Act 2010 as amended.
Yeah, but you know, the challenge is that I understand the professional position you are in, where you are not able to comment on what's in court, because the court has actually ordered INEC to, go ahead and register the youth party, and that's, I understand, but that is part of the challenge that we have. Now, let me call on Mr. Lawal in Isolo. Thank you for holding on, sir. Go ahead now.
Uncle Yori, and I'll say three things very quickly. Number one, Mr. Festus Okoye has shown an unfettered bias against the youth, because his argument about the registration of the party has already been settled by court, and they have already obeyed that judgment by registering the youth party in 2018. So what you're hearing and the arguments he's making are futile, because it shows a clear bias against a position that has been completely settled by the court, and that's why they have registered the party. Secondly, at the beginning of the program, he spoke eloquently about obeying court orders, to the extent that we're obeying a high court order in Jigawa for an election that was to be held in Anambra. Yet, the youth party has a high court judgment in Abuja that declared the registration of the party null and void. They appealed to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal, in a unanimous decision, also declared INEC's decision to deregister the party null and void, and to allow them to participate in the election. So, Uncle Yori, I need you to help me ask Mr. Festus why they disobeyed the High Court judgment, why they have also disobeyed the Appeal Court judgment, of which they only appealed the Appeal Court judgment this Thursday that passed last week. Why have they not obeyed that judgment all the way to allow the party participate in the elections? It shows a clear bias against, and it's insulting to the Nigerian people to sit in that TV and tell us you obey court judges after obeying a court order in Jigawa for an election in Anambra, and you can't obey an appeal court judgment.
Okay.
Come on. This is
Okay, Mr. Lawal.
by law.
Okay, Mr. Lawal. Thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate your call. Mr. Okoye, would you care to comment?
I think we need to straighten something out. And my learned friend in the studio, I think, also has a responsibility to straighten things out. What is it that is before us? Is it the issue that the commission refused to register the youth party based on the fact that it has the youth connotation, or the fact that the commission deregistered the youth party on the basis of section 225A of the constitution? I think that he has a responsibility to clarify this.
To make things clear, the issue of not registering the party because of its name is historical. Going forward was the issue of attempted deregistration, which was challenged in court, and which the courts declared in clear terms to be null and void, and INEC refused to follow that order. Rather, INEC appealed.
Okay.
And the appeal does not operate as a stay.
Really, sorry to abbreviate it, but
yes,
that's enough. The court has ordered INEC. INEC is yet to comply with the court order.
Rather, they keep going on appeals. And
instead,
they would obey the order.
They decided the better option was to appeal.
No, you mean, I think the last caller is taking a different direction. The last caller is saying our party has already been was already registered, and we were already operating.
Yes.
What happened was that after we started operation, the Independent National Electoral Commission deregistered our party.
Yes.
If that is what I understand him to be saying.
Yes,
correct.
That is the position.
Now, if that is the position, on what basis did the commission deregister the youth party?
I will explain to you.
Just a minute. The commission deregistered 74 political parties on the basis of the provision of section 225A of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And section 225A of the Constitution makes it very clear that the Independent National Electoral Commission shall have power to deregister a political party for a breach of any of the requirements for registration. That is breach of any of the requirements enunciated in section 221 to 229. 2, failure to win at least 25% of the votes cast in one state of the federation in a presidential election, one local government of the state in a governorship election, or failure to win at least one ward in a chairmanship election, or one seat in the national or state House of Assembly election, or one seat in a councillorship election. This was the basis on which the commission deregistered 74 political parties and now left only 18 political parties to operate. On the basis of this, the commission has gotten some judgments before the various courts that affirm the constitutional right of the commission to deregister political parties under this particular provision, while another court of appeal said no, the commission did not have the right to register, to deregister some of these political parties. So on the basis of these two conflicts, we decided that it was in the best interest of the Nigerian people, in the best interest of our democracy, in the best interest of the electoral process, for us to approach the Supreme Court, and the other parties also approach the Supreme Court. So all these matters are before the Supreme Court, and we believe that since the Supreme Court is the final court of the land, the moment they give a decision, it will now be binding on all individuals, all persons, and all authorities in the federation.
Okay, Mr. Okoye, thank you very much. But I wanted to squeeze in our last caller here. Mazi has called in from Auchi. Good morning, and thank you for holding on all that while the commissioner was explaining. Mazi in Auchi, are you still there? Oh, thank you very much. I thought there was only one Mazi. It was in Aruchuku, but somebody was saying to me in Auchi. Please, the original Mazi.
From Aruchuku in Abia State. Good morning.
The original. Good morning.
Yeah, so I want to find out from about Festus start. Now, this section 225A you are talking. If by tomorrow the youth party changes that word youth, Y-O-U-T-H, at another word, I think the section 225 should be on hold for the youth party. Now, that's number one. There's Anambra issue.
let's assume that what you are from the court today. But the thing is this, will you people obey the court order, or it will still be redundant like what is happening with the youth party? Thank you very much.
But before you go, Mazi,
sir?
What was the question on the Anambra issue? The line dropped at that point. What was the question?
What I'm asking about Anambra issue is, if by tomorrow or between tomorrow and Friday,
yes,
that his office will receive the communication from the court that Soludo is the actual candidate for APGA.
Mm-hmm.
Will they obey the court order, or you still be redundant at what is happening with the youth party issue?
Okay.
Because today the INEC and court, they are not turning our...
Okay, Mazi, thank you very much, Mazi. Let Mr. Okoye respond.
I thought that the callers should be appealing to the political parties, asking the political parties to do the right thing, to obey their own internal mechanisms, and not to misuse the venue of the courts to ventilate their grievances. What do they expect the commission to do? In a day, you receive 10 court orders from courts of coordinate jurisdiction, courts having the same jurisdiction in all parts of the country. Now, we have to put all these courts all these orders on the table, try to make a sense out of all these things. So let the political parties do their own bit. Let them run their parties, because the conduct of party primaries is in their internal affair. Let them put their house in order and stop running from one court to the other, getting different court orders, trying to confuse the electoral process, trying to confuse the commission. So what we are trying to do is to make a sense out of the multiplicity of the court orders that are before the commission. It's not a problem of the commission, it's a problem of the political parties and their members that are running from one court to the other. It has nothing to do with it.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. Festus Okoye, for making time for us this morning. We wish we had more time. We could do this for 2 hours, and thank God you're so enthusiastic and willing to inform us on how to understand the Commission's decisions. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Festus Okoye.
I really appreciate that. My regards to my learned friend.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Now, clearly, that's not entirely satisfactory to you.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's not.
And it's missing the facts.
Okay, but so this is a matter that's going to have to continue. But I want to thank you for bringing it to the attention of a lot more people than probably before now. Now we understand that there's this going on. And I just wish you all the best in your fight, especially
as you much. And I want to encourage Lagosians to come out en masse on Saturday, 24th, to vote for Youth Party. We have a subsistent court order that says that we
I will do an invoice here right now. I will do an invoice right now.
We can participate in the election. It is subsisting.
The order is still there. It is still in our favor. It is from the federal high court level.
All right.
So please come out and
we got to go. We got to go now. Thank you very much, Francis Akilota, lawyer, a member of the Board of Trustees of Youth Party.